Tengo 27. Pues esto, sin mentirte, tengo aproximadamente como unos 7, 8 años, aunque me pagaran más. El único orgullo que tengo en andar en esto.
Well, I have a funny anecdote. I knew I wanted to do something about prostitution in Mexico. And not only any story about prostitution, because I feel like a lot of people do it, so I wanted to go a little bit further, like male prostitution, which I knew it was happening in downtown Juarez. I've seen it. So I brought my dad with me. We went to downtown Juarez and drove around and looked for any possible stories, because technically that's how you find the good stories. And we stopped by really close to a corner where two gentlemen were just looking around, very strangely just standing there. This was very late at night too. And I remember looking at my dad and being like, okay, who's gonna go talk to him, and how do we even do this? and neither one of us wanted to go. It was a very awkward situation. And a parquero came up to us. A parquero is someone who takes care of your car while you're away and you tip him at the end. This is very common in Mexico. And I asked him for a favor. I asked him if the people in the corner were prostitutes. And yes, indeed, they were male prostitutes. And he went to talk to them and asked them if they would be interested in me doing a story about them and talking about their life and their job. He went over there, he talked to them, he came back and he said, yes, he can do it, but he would prefer not to film his face. So I was totally fine with that. He asked for a certain amount of money, which I didn't have at the moment. And it was back in the day in my undergraduate years, so I was pretty broke at that time. So I remember driving back home and asking my mom, Mom, may I borrow money so I can pay the prostitute? She knew I was gonna do a documentary, right? But I keep telling that story over and over, that I asked my mom for money to pay for a prostitute. But she lent me the money. I went back with my dad, and we hired the male prostitute, and we have that project now that you see completely fulfilled in a short documentary. Creating an atmosphere in this piece was essential to make the piece work. And many aspects come into play. The editing, the music. When this film originally premiered, it did without an original soundtrack. So I went on a quest of finding the right music composer for this project, and I met Maxwell, who did a phenomenal job in this project. He understood the character. He made many more drafts after all my infinite requests of changes, but he was able to understand where he came from, and that reflects in the final piece. So I was very satisfied on how the music and the editing work together to make you experience what film should make you feel, that maximum achievement of an experience. I hope to shine a light on prostitution and show audiences how connected Mexico and the US are, and with the hopes as well to give a voice to the people who society often ignores.